Did you ever play in this thing?
Yes, I did, and all of our kids did too.
Yep, and our grandkids have played in this.
Our grandkids have played in this.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well today we're getting ready to put our rainwater into our receptacle that we use. It's a 250-gallon tank that we use for our showers and our dishwater. And so this old awning that's on our camper gave way about a year ago, but it's got a crack right here that's excellent for catching rainwater. And the rainwater that's here has a little bit of a tint to it. I don't know if you can come up and kind of show that, but it's the residue from the trees and the nuts. And so it's good rainwater. We also pour a cap full of bleach for every probably 100-gallon or so. And so this works out really well. We have a little strainer on top of the tank that would take this water and any of the leaves or residue, those kind of things. It'll collect that, and we'll toss it out. One of the things that we've heard about is that it's illegal in some states, and I know in Ohio even, to collect rainwater. A couple different reasons that we know of. First off, a lot of times people they're not mindful about taking out the water that's standing so that mosquitoes won't breed in it. The other thing is that we just think the government or the powers that be, whatever it is, doesn't want people to have these types of skills anymore. Now, I'll leave that where it's at. But you should be responsible about how you handle your rainwater so that you don't get mosquitoes. Mosquitoes carry disease. So today I'm going to take this, and then we've also collected in some 6-gallon receptacles some East Liberty water, which is East Liberty's got an underground river, and we grew up there, and it's noted for the minerals in their water. We get that and we put it into the same 250-gallon tank. So that's some high quality H2O.
That's the best water in the world.
That's what your dad says.
My dad says this is the best water in the world. It's good stuff.
We just lay this netting on top and just to collect any of the debris that might have come in the rain, that might have come off the awning. The top of the tank gets grimy, so we don't mind a little bit of that overflow, because the top of the tank does get grimy and it needs rinsed off from time to time. With the bulk of your water, you want to make sure it gets inside. And at the end, you'll see there's usually some residue.
I came off the camper.
Okay. Now the other thing we have is this. These are awesome. You can buy them at Walmart or places like that. You want to loosen the back. We use these to run maple sugar water as well. They come with a spout here. You can put a plug in there. We put wine corks in an old t-shirt there. Just a wacky thing that we had to improvise and do one time, and we just left it that way. But as you can see, we have water receptacles over here. We have 5 of the big blue 6-gallon and 1, 2, 3, 9 or 10 of the 5-gallon water bottles. And so a lot of times I would just take this screen off because we know where this water came from, and I'll just let these things go. If you can see down here, this is the 125 mark. We try not to let it go too far below the 125 mark with rainwater or East Liberty water. We've brought church water before. So we've got friends that say anytime, come in and grab our water. And so for this purpose, we're not too picky about the water because of the fact that for every 100 gallons that's here, we put a cap full of bleach, and it seems to take care of about everything. You'll even smell a little bit of a bleachy in the water when you're doing dishes or taking a shower.
Yeah, this isn't our drinking water. This
It's
is our wash water. We wash our
Yeah.
dishes and shower with this.
Yes. Now, in an emergency, we could boil this water, and that's why we like having this tank here, because in the case of an emergency, we could boil this water and drink it.
But this is part of off-grid living. When you don't have running water, we have to haul in water. We have to haul in water. We're hauling in water probably once a week just to keep our shower and dishes going.
Now we have a pond right over here too. We can put 5-gallon buckets in that pond and bring water. You okay? We definitely want to filter that. Definitely want to boil it if you're going to drink it. We also have a coyote well, and we can show you that at some point. We may dig another one just to show folks what that's like. We have different options for water. Laundry, Miss Nicole uses either the overflow pool from the pond or the coyote well that we dug to wash and rinse clothing, because it's probably the cleanest, purest water. We can dip a stainless steel cup in that and drink it. And we have, as a matter of fact. It's good and it's cold and it's clean. So, lots of options for water. And it's always good to have a plan for water. A pond, a creek. The pond that's here is fed by a small spring, and when you get good rains, you'll get good rise. But when you get a drought, you're going to have to dig down deep to get the water. So in that time, you're going to have to conserve water. Nicole and I know you might think this is weird or gross or whatever, but we take a couple showers a week, and we stay clean with a smaller basin rather than the shower, or wet wipes. The other thing we do is that we had to monitor our clothing, because laundry is a big deal around here. So, and the way Nicole washes the laundry in the water, it's a little bit rougher on clothing. So we have to be good stewards of our clothing too. And normally, like these shorts, it's my second day on the shorts. This shirt is a recent shirt I put on, but we might get a couple days out of them, and so we might have to even run around in something that is pretty rough looking out here when nobody's around, and then put on something decent to go to town.
Yep.
And so we have to be really careful about our laundry.
Yep.
This is what he's talking about with the fall, okay? This is where Christians trip up a lot, is that we don't believe that the fall applies to us, okay? But even when Christ is preparing Peter for, let's just say, the day of Pentecost, when he's preparing him for everything that he will do, and he's in the upper room, and he looks at Peter. Peter's already said, hey, you ain't washing my feet. I know. I've eaten from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. I know you're better than me. And he says, Jesus says, if you don't let me wash your feet, you got no part in me. He was like, well, then wash my whole body. He said, I didn't say that. Listen to the Lord. The Lord is showing you that you will need to go and do ministry, and that the least shall be first, and that the servant is not better than the master, and the master's about to wash your feet.
And we're careful with our shower too. We don't leave the shower running like some people might. We turn it off when we're all soaped up, and then we turn it back on to rinse.
And that's how we do our water. So water is important when you're off-gridding. And we talk about the living water a lot out here. When we dig a coyote well, we consider those Bible verses that Christ is the living water. Whoever drinks from him will never be thirsty again. We have to consider the Lord when we're off-grid. As pastors, as ministers, as servants in the kingdom of heaven, we take a great deal of responsibility in that. And so as we do the water, that we know we're going to wash ourselves with, that we know we're going to drink or clean or whatever, we have to consider the Lord our spiritual water as well. There's just so much of bread of life we're going to build a mud oven, and I hope you all get to see that episode. And we've had one for 3 years now, and so we consider the grains, we consider the bread of life in our spirit as well. We don't just consider our physical, we consider the spirit. Join us as we consider these things off-grid Christian. Nicole and I both used to play in that trough when we were kids. It was a horse trough back in the 1800s. It still stands in East Liberty today. So this is the trough at East Liberty. If you take a good look at it, this is my brothers and I and all the kids from town would come down, and then Nicole and her family would come from Middleburg, and we'd play in this in the summertime. We didn't have an East Liberty pool like some municipalities and towns have a pool. We had the water trough, and this water trough was built back in the 1800s when there was a railroad that ran through here. It was called Garwood's Mill back in the day. But did you ever play in this thing?
Yes, I did, and all of our kids did too.
Yep, and our grandkids have
Our
played in this.
grandkids have played in this.
For real.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this is our drinking water. We also use it to shower and do laundry, wash dishes. And when I say that, I mean Nicole, because I just use it to shower.
It's true.
Thou shalt not bear false witness. You got him?
Got 'em.
Ready.